Dearest Kylie,
Dear Mom and Dad,
Dear Aiden,
Dear Stefan,
Dearest Kylie, I am writing this letter for my dearest Kylie, my beautiful daughter and most important person in my life. From the time you were small, we knew you were a little different, but it didn't really dawn on us, what we were going to face in the future.
we knew that you always gravitated to things that were pink. We knew that you liked everything sparkly.
We just let you be who you were from the time you were 3 to the time you said, I want to be a girl.
Dear Aiden, I'm writing this letter to you because, first of all, I want you to know how much I love you and how much you've meant to my life coming out and being your true self. I knew from a very young age that you were a little bit different. You were a little tomboy. You always expressed yourself in more of a little boy way.
I thought, growing up, Kai just liked girls things. And they said, at that time, he'll grow out of it. We would go to the store and she liked dolls. I don't care. I'm going to buy whatever she wants, And then we kept going. She liked to dress like girls. That's okay. She'll grow out of it. And then, you know what? She wants to live that way.
In middle school, you really began to struggle because gender becomes very defined. Boys' locker rooms, girls' locker rooms, boys' sports, girls' sports. You started having anxiety attacks. You could barely make it through the day.
There were some times where we weren't sure. I don't think even the word transgender was being used when you were growing up very much.
When you were a sophomore and came out as lesbian, it was hard for Mama. I really went into a lot of shame, me feeling ashamed of being the mother to help create this happy, successful life. And now I felt I had really failed in my most important responsibility.
I had to learn a lot by going to workshops and conferences, and I went to support groups, which really helped my journey to become a better mother for you.
Aiden, when you came out to me as transgender, I know on the outside it probably seemed I was pretty calm, but on the inside I had a lot of fear again. I feared how people were going to treat you, how the world was going to be safe for you. How can you find a job? And how would you find someone who would love you?
Somebody contacted social services and they basically said that I was an older mother that had a son and I was forcing my son to be my daughter.
I also had fears because then I started hearing about you changing your body, that you were going to have surgery, top surgery to remove your breasts, that you were going to be injecting hormones, and all those things really scared me.
I remember the day of picking you up from school and explaining to you that my best friend from high school was in town because I didn't know how to explain a social worker to you. You put on one of your sparkly dresses and you were at the door waiting for her to get here. And all I could think was, oh my gosh, she can take you away from me at any minute.
The thing was, I knew that you were depressed. I knew that you were unhappy and you were suicidal. And so at that point, I was willing to do whatever I could. I was willing to listen.
You kept coming out of your room that day, and you kept coming up to me and telling me that you loved me. And I think through all those interactions that day, she saw something in our family that although we were different, this wasn't being forced on you, that you were loved.
And along the way, I had PFLAG, and PFLAG showed me that it was not a choice for you to be who you were. And so for me, I decided I was going to make the choice to support you. I was going to choose you. I was going to stand by you. I decided that in order for me to overcome this fear, I had to go out and be a visible voice, because then I knew that there was something I was doing as your mother to make the world safer.
The reason why I'm on film right now is because we're working on a video on showing families and other people that you can have a beautiful family with a transgender child, and that your child can be happy if you love and accept them. I was asked if there was a possibility of having some of your friends in the video, just to show just how happy you are and that you're just a girl that just loves to hang out with her friends. And I thought, wow, I know you have some great friends, and I know we've talked to the parents about you being transgender, but then to be in a video to show love and acceptance, I wasn't sure. This was the true test of finding out that they're okay with their children, their daughters, hanging out with you.
I think many times on a journey like this, the brothers and sisters really have a hard time because Papa and I have to give so much attention to Aiden as he's struggling. Stefan, the way that you have accepted Aiden has really given me a role model for how I could be better at accepting Aiden myself.
For the pronouns, it wasn't a big deal for me. I think our parents had the most trouble with it in the beginning and for quite a while. But for me, you were always a bigger brother.
I remember one time Papa said, go get your sister for dinner.
And you responded to him by saying, who? And he was kind of grumbling and moaned about it, but he immediately was like, oh wait, you're right, and corrected himself and used the right pronouns and the right name.
It's going from being your daughter to being your son. It was hard for me to erase that daughter that I once had. As time went on, the more memories I'm having you as being my son made a big difference. The most important thing, it was for you to find out what you wanted for yourself in life, how you wanted to be. And so the more I thought about that, the more I was accepting of.
Everybody's a little different in this world, but we're all the same inside. And I want you to do what you want to do, not what we want to do. We're going to grow together as a family. And I love you the most. And I hope everything works out for us, because I think we have the right combination in this family for everything to work.
Aiden, when you first came out, I went into so many negative feelings. The shame, the sadness, the guilt, and the fear. I think we've worked really hard as a family to stay together, to stay connected, to be authentic with each other, and to really be grateful for each other. I see you wake up every morning and go out and be your true self. And that inspires me to go out and use my voice and be my true self.
Dearest Kylie, I know you often wonder why this is happening to you. The only answer I can tell you is the story that I've told you through the years. Mom and Dad were an older couple that wanted a baby, and you were a spirit in heaven looking for a family. When you found us, you had to hurry. So when you flew into my belly, you didn't realize you were in a boy's body until it was too late. Somehow you knew that it would be okay, that you would eventually show us that no matter what your body looked like, you were our daughter. It took us some time, but with the support and love from our friends and family, we finally figured it out. We are so blessed to have our beautiful, healthy, happy daughter. Thank you for choosing us to be your family.